Hi everybody, and welcome back to day 4 of the 2011 Thanksgiving cards with the Cricut. And we are making another gatefold card, and this is what our card is going to look like. So when you open it up, you can put your sentiment inside. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how you can make this quick and easy card. Okay everybody, so let's go ahead and bring up the supplies so we can start with day 4 of the 2011 Thanksgiving cards with the Cricut. Now, this is going to be another simple card, and this is once again a gatefold card. And by now, if you've watched the series, you should all know what the measurements are, but I'll say them again. My card is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8. And then you're going to go ahead and just fold down your score marks and make sure you score it because you want it to lay flat, like so. So then you can go ahead and start with your layering your panels. So this cardstock is once again from the K & Company Tim Coffee cardstock, and the pumpkins sheet looks like this, and then this is what's on the other side. So I've gone ahead and cut these at 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches for each side. So they will lay down like so. So let me go ahead, and we're going to get tape on both of our pieces. So I'm just going to run some tape down the middle and then make sure I get some tape on the end. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my other side. Like so. And then what I want to do is I'm going to start with my right side first. So I'm going to open up that side of my card. And when you're looking at it, it will now be on your left, but it is really the right side of the card. So make sure I get all that tape off of the edges there. And then we're going to fold that down. So now we can go ahead and add our top layer. I'm going to move this up some. And I'm going to line this up. And press down. So now there we have our top layer to our gatefold card. Or our side panels, I'm sorry. So now the next thing we have is we have our cardstock that measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Or I'm sorry, this is the piece that measures 3 inches by 4 inches. And I've gone ahead and inked the edges using the Tim Holtz Distress ink, and this is the Gathered Twigs. I'm starting to find that this is becoming one of my favorite colors, at least for the fall. And that's going to go on top there, but before we go ahead and lay that down, I want to go ahead and put my next layer on. Now this layer measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and both of these cardstocks are the textured or linen cardstock by Joann's. So I'm just going to look at that and line it up. And now what I've gone ahead and cut out using my Cricut is the words "Give Thanks." Now the way I did this is I used my Martha Stewart Seasonal Cake Art cartridge, and The phrase that I use is on page 62, and it's right here. So now that cuts out together. But what I did so that I could just measure out how this was going to look on the card is I did this on the Gypsy, but you can go ahead and cut it out using just your Cricut and then just split or cut the two apart. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about on my Gypsy. So that's key number 27 on your Gypsy. So you would hit the phrase button and then key 27, which is right here. So it looks like this. So now when it is on your mat on your Gypsy, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. It actually looks like that. So what I did was I hid the word thanks by using under the advanced tab that button right there that takes you to your image, and I just went and I hid the word thanks. And the only reason why I did that is because I wanted to line up and show where the word give was going to fit and where the word thanks was going to fit. So I also had to do some squeezing in here. I cut this at 1¼ inches. And actually I take that back. I didn't have to squeeze it in because I knew it was going to fit because I was cutting off the word thanks here. So it's actually cut at 1¼ without touching the aspect ratio button. And then I copied and made a second one. And I just hid the word give on the second one. So the give is off to the side here because it's not going to cut. It's only going to cut the word thanks. So that's how I got those two, so I knew that it would fit in there the way I want it. So the other thing that I've done is I've gone ahead and cut out this pumpkin. And the pumpkin is from that cartridge as well. And it is on the same page, 62, and it's key number 27. And what you'll do is you'll cut out you'll hit your cake key and cut out 27. And then you'll hit the shift and the cake key to get your top layer. And everything for that was cut out at 1½ inches. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add the pumpkin to our very top layer. And what I've done, I've also gone ahead and popped this up on some foam tape because I wanted this one just to sit up a little bit. I was going to add an action wobble to this, but the action wobble was just a little bit bigger. I'm going to zoom back than the pumpkin itself so you could actually see some of it. And I probably could have cut that off, but as I said, I wanted to make these quick and simple. So now that I've taken my tape backing off, I'm just going to go ahead and lay my pumpkin down. And I probably should have put my tape on first before I did that. So don't you do what I just did, because we want to get some tape in the middle, and I'm just going to have to roll this across where I have my pumpkin in the middle. So next time, put your layer on and then put what you're using or popping up. It'll be easier to put the tape on if you do it that way and not the way I just did it. And this probably should be the last thing you put on, because now what I have to do is I have to go ahead and line this up, and then we're only going to put tape on this half of this layer so that we can open up the gatefold. So I'm going to go ahead and take a pencil and make sure I mark where I want it to go. And our tape is going to go on the left side, because remember, you don't want to put anything on this side because then you won't be able to open it. So when you flip this over, you'll be adding tape to the right portion when you flip it over. So we'll just go ahead, and remember, you're only going to go to that halfway point. And now I'm going to open up my card and line up where I have my pencil marks, and then press down. Now the cardstock also that I used was just some scrap cardstock that I had left over for my pumpkin and my give thanks. Okay, so now we have the outside of our card, and we're ready to add our inside sentiment. Now for my inside sentiment, I've once again used my Inkadinkado Harvest Expressions stamps, and I'm going to use and I've lined it up, the two stamps that I want to use, I've lined up using my Fiskars stamp press, and I'm going to ink up my stamps, and I'm using the gathered twigs. So let me make sure I get some ink on here, and then we're just going to go ahead and press down and add this to the card. So now I'm going to use my foam board or foam piece again so I can get good coverage. And then I'm going to go ahead and line up where I want my stamp to line up, and then I'm just going to press down. And so I've stamped the words gratitude and happy Thanksgiving. So that's it. That is card number 4 of the 2011 Thanksgiving Cards with the Cricut series. So come back for day 5 of the series. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.